The 47th president made a bold promise: bring jobs back to America. What he didn't mention, he meant back to North America, not just our side of the border. While he brags about winning, Ford is expanding in Ontario, Tesla is hiring in Quebec, and Coca-Cola has quietly moved its bottling operations up north. And here at home, American workers are watching factories shut down and machines fall silent. This is not just strength, it's surrender, wrapped in a red hat and sold as patriotism. So, why are the very companies he promised to protect turning their backs on the US? And how much longer will we pretend not to notice? 2 years into Trump's second term, America's industrial engine is not just slowing, it's sputtering, not because our workers are not skilled or our companies lack ambition, but because the very policies designed to protect them are pushing them away. It started with tariffs. In June 2025, the Trump administration doubled down, raising steel and aluminum tariffs from 25% to a crushing 50%. That one move sent shockwaves through industries across the board, from automakers to soda bottlers, jacking up the cost of materials and squeezing margins until they bled. A report from Boston Consulting Group in July estimated the damage $50 billion a year in new costs for US manufacturers. That's doubled what companies were already struggling with. And by years end, the total drag on the economy could top $100 billion. At this point, it's not about competition, it's about survival. But the squeeze is not just from the tariffs, there's also the soaring cost of energy. Since 2022, electricity prices have jumped by nearly 13%, according to US Energy Information Administration. Average residential rates rose from 15% per kilowatt hour in 2021 to over 17 cents by 2025. Industrial rates have climbed just as sharply. Now look north. In places like Quebec, industrial users pay less than 7 cents per kilowatt hour, half the US cost. Multiply that across a massive operation and the math becomes brutal. And it's not just about money, it's about speed, simplicity, predictability. In the US, getting permits for a new factory can take 4.5 years, bogged down by lawsuits, labor disputes, and red tape. In Ontario and Quebec, you can break ground in 18 months, and the Canadian government is helping, offering funding incentives for clean technology, EVs, and high-efficiency factories. So, what's the final straw? The bitter irony of America First. The very policies designed to defend US jobs are making it too expensive and complicated to keep them here. The result? American companies are packing up and heading north, where business is cheaper, faster, and more predictable. So, when you crack open a can of Coke, there's a good chance it came from Canada. That pickup truck in your driveway probably built in Ontario, and that cutting-edge Tesla battery made in Markham, not Nevada. This is not just trivial, it's deeply personal, because every job that crosses the border leaves behind a community that's hurting. And the truth is, the crisis is not coming, it's already here. Let's break it down. Coca-Cola Canadian pivot. By mid-2025, 70 to 80% of Coca-Cola's aluminum cans in North America were being made in Brampton, Ontario, not Georgia. The 50% aluminum tariff made US-based can production unaffordable. Now, fleets of trucks loaded with Canadian-made soda rolls into the US daily, supplying Michigan, New York, Ohio, and more. Ford's quiet migration. In 2026, Ford officially made Ontario's Oakville plant the hub for its Super Duty pickups, Backed by a $590 million investment from Canada, Ford also poured in $3 billion of its own to expand production, adding 1 lakh units per year. Meanwhile, its US plants in Kentucky and Ohio struggle to keep up. Tesla's battery shift. Tesla's next generation 4680 batteries are now being produced by Hibbert in Ontario. Why? Faster permits, cheaper electricity, and a supportive regulatory environment, all of which beat the headaches in Nevada. GM and POSCO EV's powerhouse. GM partnered with South Korea's POSCO to build a 600 million cathode plant in Quebec, backed by 300 million in public funds. It will feed GM's Ultium battery line, bypassing US tariffs by sourcing critical components from Canada. This is not outsourcing, it's survival. And as Canada becomes the manufacturing heartbeat of North America, US cities like Flint and Lima are not just losing factories, they are losing identity. In Flint alone, 1,200 auto jobs disappeared between 2022 and 2025. Most workers have not returned to the industry. Many now work part-time gigs without benefits. One former GM worker now earns less than half his 2025 salary, juggling night shifts and medical bills with no safety net. In Lima, young workers are leaving, older ones are stuck in limbo, undertrained, unemployed, and unsure who to blame. It's easy to talk tariffs from a podium, but for families in these towns, this is more than policy, it's personal. It's not just about where things are made, it's about where people still have a reason to stay. Even the trade deal meant to unite North America, USMCA is now working against US factories while Canada opens its arms with incentives and cheap hydro. The US piles on the tariffs and delays. So what happens next? Some say there's still time to bring industries home, but it would require sweeping reform, subsidies, faster permitting, and a hard national conversation about wages. But who's ready for that fight? Right now, even Ford, Tesla, and GM are filing quiet requests to escape the tariffs. Even Republican lawmakers are starting to question the plan. Michigan's governor put it bluntly, "We are being punished twice, first by global competition and now by our own government." And so we are left with a tough question. Is Made in USA still a promise or just a marketing label stuck on a product built in Canada? Because if we don't act soon, that label might stop meaning anything at all.